For today's cup of coffee, we have a story that's a little bit out of our lane. Nothing is out of our lane. Our lane is kind of broad.
Yeah.
Because some of the things that we discuss, they are scary, but on a different level.
Mm-hmm.
And
is that like retro internet scary?
Kind of, sort of, not really, but anyhow. This is from Daily...
People getting eaten by alligators scary?
No, not that one today. No, this is a different kind of scary. It's sort of one of those psychological, scary type things. It is to me. And I've known this for many, many years.
So a Junji Ito comic?
Maybe. But from Daily Mail, and this is... And I will tell you something. They have gone... this weekend... They have gone beyond trash on a lot of their stories. I mean, honestly, are they that desperate for readers?
Beyond trash dumpster fire?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's just like depraved type shit. And it's like I would read the headlines and I'm like, no, I don't even want to go there with that.
There's a lot of shit that just shouldn't be right now.
Right. Or it's just, But because that I have to weed through the garbage to try to find the things of value, that seems to be my lot in life. I don't know how, but apparently it is. But this is my Alexa Cimino.
Cimino.
I don't know. And it's June the 15th of 2024. And I will tell you this, the way this was written, it was just pointless. Because we've got a lot of people that need to learn what journalism really is.
Mm-hmm.
Because what is being done now is not journalism. It's not hard. Who, what, where, when, why, and how. That's it.
You don't put in your own personal opinions. Though.
Right. But this is what these kids in colleges, because the colleges have been subverted, and it's like, so this is what you get. You get some of this woke bullshit. And when it's like that, people cannot... It loses credibility.
Right. It does.
People are over it. And I don't know, maybe we need to start saying, oh, I'm sorry, that writing style is so 2020. I mean, if you want to go smart ass, there's some of us that's been smart ass a whole lot longer than these people have been alive.
Yeah.
But, that being... This is a very concerning article to me, and people have a tendency to forget that those of us in Gen X, and even some of the ones that they want to label as boomers and stuff, we may not have grown up with these devices in our hands, but we were right there in the Wild West.
Yeah.
And so it's insulting in a lot of ways for some of the younger people to sit there. Well, you don't know what this and you don't know this. Let me tell you something. When I was working on computers, you could go into the tree easily. And you could fix code easily. But you could also fuck up a computer easily.
Old days of DOS. Oh, the old days of DOS.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it was...
Even before DOS.
It was really interesting. And, everything now is so plug and play that it's,
It's foolproof almost.
Almost. But also it's one of those when you can't see, if you can't go into a program and read what's there in the code and different things like that. And they've even got AI that's writing code and stuff now.
Yeah, isn't that scary?
Yeah, it's massively scary. And
spaghetti code.
Yeah, but you could go in there and you could say, oh, okay, this is where this is where this is screwed up, and it wasn't that hard.
Right.
So, like I said, when somebody's like, you don't know what you do. No, I may not know how to work that app, but I was doing stuff that you can't even dream of.
Yep.
One of the things that I saw when this first started, because I am an extremely private person.
You are.
And, it's like I like to believe the best. I like to believe that individuals can change. But I'm also well aware that there are some people out there that have some remarkably deviant behavior, and that evil is. It just is. It exists. There's a lot of people in some of the communities, oh, it's a love and light. No, you're being foolish. And so that was why, even as far as the kids, when they were first growing, when they were first using the computers and stuff, I'm like, do not put personal information on there. Do not put anything on there that you would not want printed on the front page of a newspaper.
Yeah.
Now, whether they listened or not, probably not. Because kids are kids. And it's like, where I tried to monitor some of these things, kids are always going to find a way to circumvent parents. That's just kids.
Mm-hmm.
But this story was not about the kids. It's about the parents' behavior. And I'm just going to hit the high points on this. I will leave the link in the description box so that you can go and read this fully. The basis of it is that this 25-year-old from Chicago named Cam Barrett says that she is still suffering after becoming a victim of sharenting, and which is a term combining sharing and parenting that refers to family vlogging and the publicization of a child's life without their consent.
Ooh.
And so
those family vloggers had to do a lot of exploitation.
Yeah. I think it's very exploitive.
Which vlog family was she from on YouTube?
Let's see what it says. If it says on here. ABC News had interviewed her, and she has her own internet presence and stuff now, and she actually says that because she's cutting her mother a lot of slack by saying, well, maybe they didn't understand or whatever it was. And I was looking to see if it says, I know that it was on Facebook. And so I think that it may have been before some of these other ones. I don't see that it was on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
So it must have just been primarily on Facebook and different things like that.
Okay.
And, it is very exploitive.
It is.
And as far as that,
that child cannot consent to being on camera.
Well, it says that even when she was 15 years old, she was hit by a drunk driver. And so her mother's sitting there videoing her.
Videoing her as she got hit?
No, while she was in the hospital.
What? No,
and that it was more
privacy.
Important. Now, how many of these videos have we seen as far as these on TikTok and stuff like that? These parents showing the children how to act for that TikTok, whatever it was. Oh, no, you're not crying right. You've got to have more tears. And that these kids are growing up that they have to be constantly camera ready.
Yeah. Yeah, they really do. And it's not right. It does something to them.
Sure it does.
It fucks them up psychologically.
Right. I've never watched the movie The Truman Show, but I've heard a lot about it, and that's the one where the guy was living his life, but he was being televised the whole time.
And the whole place that he was in was fake. The people were all actors and actresses.
How horrible would that be? That is the stuff of nightmares.
Yeah. But he figured it out. In the end, he figured it out. That he was on TV.
So was he able to go back and get out of the Matrix or whatever?
Okay, if y'all have not watched it yet,
Spoilers.
Alert. Yeah, there was a staircase. He went up that staircase and there was a door, and he looked right at the camera. Looked right at the camera, and I think he said, "Till next time."
Yeah.
Or something.
There are those of us
Dude
that
threatened him not to leave. Like, he was on the intercom, was trying to convince him to stay in there.
Right.
And he's like, nah. And he got out. He walked right out that door.
And there's a difference, and I think it's, I don't know, we've gotten into this mess right now. And I'm one of these, I enjoy information, and I enjoy listening to different content creators and their thoughts and stuff, and that's primarily what type of content that that I consume.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's like Professor of Rock had about Quiet Riot today, and that was, I enjoy him. I enjoy him so much.
Yeah.
I listen to other people as far as commentators talking about news stories. I read a lot during the day.
You do.
Even as far as on X, reading other people's comments, enjoying their different creations, different things like that. The memes, I'm really enjoying the memes. But as far as watching other people's families, and especially their kids, no.
Nope.
I think that's very invasive, and I've always thought it was dangerous.
Oh, it's incredibly dangerous.
Because you never know if you're going to get somebody that's mentally unwell that fixates.
Do you know how many perverts they actually have watching those?
I can't even imagine.
It's a horrific amount.
And I like I said, I can't even imagine. And I have known for years. I never put my kids on the internet, their pictures in any form. Very rarely have I ever been on the internet in any form.
Yeah.
Because I'm never fucking camera ready, and I don't really care about that at this point. It's the message. It doesn't matter what I look like.
Yeah.
You know? But for these people, and it's like, I can't remember if it was Jeremy from The Quartering that had a story yesterday about that this person had gotten a child that was a special needs child from another country, and he was saying that it was basically for clout.
Yeah.
Now I don't know whether it was. I don't know the ins and the outs of that.
It was for clout. I remember that shit coming out a few years ago. For some reason, it's circulating now again. But a few years ago, yeah, it very much. We all saw it. It was for clout.
And it was sponsored. They got big money from these companies and stuff like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that the child had special needs, and it got to the extreme. And so they had basically given the child up.
Mm-hmm. Oh, everyone.
And that they had even the new forever home. That's what you do with a damn animal. That's not what you do with a child.
No.
Had renamed the kid. Now that kid's going to have more problems. I mean, he's already got problems. Now he's going to have more problems.
Yeah.
And it's just, but they're talking about that these children that are now coming of age, that they had been, their whole lives had been shown on the internet.
Mm-hmm.
That's ridiculous.
It is. And the parents, it's like the fucking Daddy-O-5 thing. Daddy-O-5, Mommy-O-5, those who are on that side of YouTube, we all know about them. Horrific fucking family.
Mm-hmm.
This one, their youngest son was a target for all of them.
Yeah, you were telling me about that.
Yeah. That kid has gotten hurt, yelled at, mentally abused, physically abused for a long time.
Then why hasn't somebody contacted CPS?
I think they did. I believe they did. And I think that child is with someone else now.
Good. Because children...
I know they deleted all their videos for a while. I don't know if they,
Children deserve to be loved. And I know this is, people are like, Orlando, honey, you're living in a dream world. Yes, I am. I am living I would like to live in a world where every child grows up knowing that they are wanted and that they are loved and that they don't have to jump through hoops or perform or whatever to get their needs met. Mm-hmm. I dream of a world where children grow up and that parents help discover who this child is, help the child to discover who they are, not try to mold them and make them. They are somebody when they get here. It is a matter of discovery.
Yeah.
What are their gifts? Help them develop those. What are their challenges? Help them overcome those. That is my theory on parenting. Mm-hmm. Have I done it correctly? Hell no. But that was the basis. I did the best that I could on it. And it's like, there's not a hard and fast whatever, but if you go through it with the heart of love, that you're going to be there for that child no matter what, that helps a lot of things. Mm-hmm. But for these people to use these children as props, that's despicable. That's beyond despicable. That is a form and a level of narcissism that I think that's beyond narcissism. And so they were talking about that they might try to get laws enacted.
They better.
Sort of like for the children that are actors and stuff. And we've all heard the horror stories that has come out about some of those child actors. God love them. I mean, there is no way that anybody who I just
Still haven't bought Jeanette McCurdy's book. She was on iCarly and Sam and Cat. She played Sam.
Yeah.
She was abused by her mother and abused by the production.
I don't know. Maybe
production.
Maybe they need to have people that are evaluating these situations. Of course, then you would have to wonder what the credentials of the anybody that was a CPS worker or something like that. Are they legit? Because a lot of them are not. A lot of them are on power trips. Mm-hmm. And it's not, like I said,
it's a fucking cruel world. It can
It
be.
is. It is. And then you've got these people, and this is the paparazzi, and I despise paparazzi, that when somebody is no longer in the limelight, that's, 30 years later, well, they look old and tired. Well, hell, they are old and tired. It's been 30 years. Mm-hmm. And people act surprised. How many of y'all out there look the same that you did 30 years ago?
Right.
And they're even holding these totally unrealistic expectations up for people as they age. Mm-hmm. Enough with this shit. Let's get back to reality.
Yeah. What happened to that, fairy tale image of little grandma sitting in her rocking chair knitting or something like that?
Well, I'm the little grandma looking thing that would be sitting outside with a 12 gauge across my knees. But
they do that too?
Yeah. Yeah.
They can knit and shoot.
I never learned to knit. No.
You want to learn? I can teach you.
No, that was the one that was out there with you and Omega encouraging as far as the brush burner going. Fire. But it's like and this is the people that consume this stuff, they're guilty also. Because without an audience, these people wouldn't be doing this.
Right. I don't understand. I think it's like watching an anime that's a slice of life genre, and they're not wanting to watch someone do these challenges or whatever. They're just wanting to watch someone live their everyday life. But the thing is, a lot of these family vloggers, it's not their everyday life. No. It is not a normal, just be like, okay, this is what I do. It's all fucking staged a lot of the time, and those parents are forcing everything.
Yeah. Well, we have become, it's like a society and a generation or
Scripting
whatever it
stuff.
is of voyeurs.
Do I now?
Voyeurs.
Yeah.
On the outside, sitting on the couch eating cheesies or whatever.
Watching
and,
someone else live their life.
Watching someone else live. Put down the device and go out and live.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, go outside and play with your children. Teach them how to, throw a ball or kick a ball or something like that. How to roll in the grass. How to skin their knees and learn that they will heal and how to deal with a little bit of adversity and stuff.
Teach them how to make toys with rocks and sticks using imagination.
Yeah, well, maybe not rocks. And then have to teach them how to deal with the sticks properly.
I use them as action figures and dolls.
Yeah. Yeah, well, it's one of those that, and this is what it's. I was telling Kid, I was telling Kid earlier how that all of us have been conditioned as far as these boxes, and it's one of those that when radios first came out, that was family time, and people would gather around, and there were stories, these wonderful, wonderful radio stories. Mm-hmm. And that is why I adore radio there's so many reasons that I loved radio as it used to be. And nothing's as it used to be. And then because radio is something that you still have to use your imagination. Mm-hmm. And that you had people like Vincent Price and that voice and these amazing voice actors. And then TV dumbed it down. You didn't have to use your imagination anymore because it was somebody else's.
Right.
And this is also why I love books. Mm-hmm. And so now it's gone another step. It's not a make-believe. It is make-believe, but it's being presented as real life. So it's this augmented reality that is on a subconscious level telling other people, if your life is not like this, you're not good enough.
Yeah. Yeah. Same with Instagram, Twitter, stuff like that. People post what they want people to see.
Sure.
And so it inevitably creates a unrealistic expectation in some ways.
It's causing people to be extremely superficial.
Yeah. Yeah.
Surface level, as long as they look the way that they think that society wants them to look. Who the fuck is dictating this stuff? I've always wondered that. Who is behind? And a lot of times, it's women. Because we will do some of the most insane, stupid shit to each other that no man would ever dream of doing. Yeah.
That's true.
So I'm not blaming the men on that. Now, are they gullible on some of this stuff? Absolutely. Men, it's one of those, it does not matter what somebody looks like. You find somebody that's going to stand beside you if you get sick or whatever.
Yeah.
What happens then? What happens if the one that's your object of your desire, if they're no longer physically attractive? Do you just pick up and go someplace else? This is where we need to go back and learn what commitment means, what covenant means.
Yeah.
That means that you're going to stay, die, ride or die. Is that the thing?
Yeah. Are you going to be there ride or die or not?
Yeah.
Y'all are going to ride together or you're going to, die together.
And let me tell you something. For some of us that have been on a hell of a rough ride, yeah. Yeah. But it's
you
one
need
of those
ride or dies.
We need to rethink what it is to be human and individuals.
Yeah.
And families and friends and everything else. Mm-hmm. Now, let me tell you something. When you laying there ready to take your last breath, are you going to wish you had made one more whatever post?
Right.
Are all these people... invisible peoples, are they going to be there with you holding your hand?
Well,
Now, some of them may.
well, there have been people that have posted their final moments. There have been. And it wasn't for clout. It was just as a way to spread a goodbye.
And I do get that. I do get that. But it's one of those, we have to go back and reevaluate what is important. And I know what it was like when somebody was forcing me to look at my kids through a camera. And I missed stuff because I was the videographer. That wasn't by choice.
Yep.
But it was as it was. And I did what I was required to do at that time because I didn't have a whole hell of a lot of choice. And that's okay. But I did not want my children to have to grow up with the scrutiny or the danger of somebody finding out where we were or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's the thing. That's the difference between making home movies, home videos that you just watch with you and your family, versus posting it online.
Yeah. That you don't know who is on the other side of that screen.
And I think that's what some people certainly do. They post their home movies online for everyone to see.
Mm-hmm. Instead of knowing, there's boundaries between what is public and what is private.
Uh-huh. But that line has been blurred
it has
lot.
been so blurred. It has been so blurred. Mm-hmm. And people are silly, and they don't understand even as far as, because I've done a little bit of minor detective work over the years also. Throw that in with everything else. You can find out just about anything you want to know about people. And that is being used against people.
Uh-huh.
Because they overshare. But at this point, wherever we are living in some kind of dystopian nightmare where everything is spying on us for real, and it's been proven.
That's unless you've always knew things could be tracked back to you.
Yeah.
By a lot of people on the internet. So that's why you always sign up to stuff using a fake name.
Mm-hmm.
Always.
But now Google and stuff like that are requiring real names. And how many times have they had security breaches?
They've tried to get me to use my real name, and I put a stage name.
Good.
Because like that's one thing that you taught me well, as far you and Dad both, because y'all are computer people, was to always have common sense on the internet.
Mm-hmm. You have to.
Yeah. And it's like I never let people that close to me that they knew my full legal name.
Right. You don't. And it's just, it is a really, really weird point in human history. It's a time like no other that we know of. I mean, if there had been civilizations before, but as far as we know, and it's like people don't seem to have common sense anymore. Don't tell everything you know. Don't never let the devil know all your cards or see all your cards. And as far as those children's, you protect those children's.
Yeah. Yeah.
They have a right to privacy.
They do.
So it was a disturbing, it was a sad and disturbing story.
I mean, it literally makes me think of any of the other family vloggers that have gotten into controversy over these past 8-10 years.
Mm-hmm.
There's been a lot.
Mm-hmm. And it's like, people used to, if they had questions about child rearing or whatever like that, that was where they would go to the elders of the community.
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
find out about that, not random strangers that appear to be something that they may not be.
Right.
It's scary. It is. I told you, it's a psychological psyop clusterfuck.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, final thoughts on this?
On that thing about, like, people not going to the elders anymore, they've been conditioned not to.
Right. Right. They did something right because they lived to be old.
Yeah.
The other ones didn't.
No.
You know, and it's like, not every old person has wisdom, but a lot of them do. And what are they doing? They put them out of society.
Mm-hmm.
It used to be that families and communities and stuff like that would take care of the elders. Now they don't want to look at them because they're not camera ready. That's disgusting.
It's not even that they're not camera ready. Now on that, I think it's because the internet in a lot of ways has painted a picture that elders are these crotchety, mean people that's just going to bitch about anything and everything and never be happy.
I think it's a reminder of mortality.
That too. That too. But they also, like, seriously, especially within recent years, like over these past 4 years, 5 maybe. Yeah. They've been trying to, that's, you know.
Well, you think about it. The
Old
products.
people being mean, bitchy. I mean, they're absolutely harassing the fuck out of the majority of them. And at this point, yeah, some of them do clap back.
Yeah.
But it's always the people that's recording, for the most part, that has done something to piss them off.
Let's put it like this. You can tell the target audience by who is advertising and what's being advertised. Other than some kind of Medicare benefits, how many, or some kind of pharmaceutical.
Well, that's on YouTube.
How many ads do you see for products for older people? Not that many, because they don't buy that many products, because they're no longer, they have found out they don't need that much.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, as far as young people and their money and like the fast fashion, or that's why it's changing every other day. Oh, this is the new thing. No, you can't wear this. That's bullshit. You're being led, by the nose to spend money that you don't have.
Right. Right. Because young people are just flat out more gullible.
They are. Because
they're more susceptible to peer pressure.
Sure. And now you think about it, these kids that are being exploited through these vlogs or whatever it is, if they go to school, then everybody knows, and they're going to be kids, and are they going to be going, we got 15 billion subs?
Oh, they're going to do it for clout, but also some of them do get bullied.
Sure.
Because of how they are portrayed on the videos.
Right. They can't be just normal kids.
No, they're not. That's at the crux of this. They're not being allowed to be kids.
Right.
To live a normal childhood.
Right. And at this point, you've got to wonder, are any of the kids being allowed to have a normal childhood? Because now 2020 did fuck up a lot of shit, and we don't even know how bad yet.
Oh, it's fucked them up majorly.
Yeah.
Majorly. I mean, look at half of Gen Alpha.
Uh-huh. That these people are developmentally behind because of the mask and stuff like that, even as far as infants not being able to recognize and take cues of facial expressions and stuff because they couldn't see the people's faces.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's a clusterfuck, and
It's a
it's like it's something that only God can fix. Anyhow, we could go on, but we were running along on this one again. Kid, final thoughts.
Let kids be kids.
Parents act like adults. Have some responsibility. So, if you've had experiences with the paranormal or supernatural, encounters with UFOs, aliens, cryptid, tinfoil hats, clusterfuck that our world is right now, you can send us an email, cupofcoffeewithscream@gmail.com, and I will put a link to the article there in the description box. And like I said, the email's in there somewhere.
And if you like this video, don't forget to like, share, comment, and most of all, subscribe and click that notification button for daily notifications of our daily uploads. Check her out on BitChute and Rumble, Rolanda's Cup of Coffee with Scream. Also check her out on X, previously known as Twitter, Rolanda, COCWS. It's like a radio station call sign, so it's pretty easy to look up and listen to. Go check it out.
Yeah, it stands for Cup of Coffee with Scream. It's not hard. I wasn't that clever.
It's a radio station call sign.
Well,
It's just, that's what it is.
Letter count.
It's abbreviated into a call sign.
Well, call signs only had 4 letters. I got one extra, but anyhow.
Some of those radio station call signs,
No, it's 4. It's 4. It's west of the Mississippi and then east of the Mississippi. That's how that goes. God, I miss
98.5 WTFM.
I wish. I mean, radio was so good back when it was real radio. And I heard a Tom Petty song yesterday that I had not heard before, and it was called The Last DJ. And I wanted to cry. I truly go and listen to that, and I just wanted to cry. Anyhow, know that you are loved. Treat other people the way that you would like to be treated. Prayers for individuals, nations, this whole world, because like I said, this is a mess only God can fix out.
Yeah.
He can only sort it out. And Lord willing, we will see you on the next cut.
Mm-hmm.
Bye.
Bye.